Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to bake a loaf of bread at home. It is very easy if you follow the step-by-step instructions and have a look at it. It's very soft and crispy on the top. So here we have 500 grams of all-purpose flour, and then we have 10 grams of milk powder and 8 grams of dried instant yeast, and then we have sugar, 20 grams of sugar, 9 grams of salt, and we have 25 to 30 grams of butter and 300 grams or ml of cold water. So if you're planning to bake bread at home, then it is a must that you have a stand mixer, and then you need the dough hook for it and the metal bowl. You can always knead it by hand, but it will take quite some time to get the dough consistency right. It took me nearly 20 minutes to get the dough right in the stand mixer. So imagine doing it by hand. So here we add the flour to the bowl, and then we add the dried instant yeast. In case if you don't find the instant yeast and if you are using the dry yeast, then you make sure that you dilute it in lukewarm milk or water and then leave it to froth, and then you add it to the flour. So here I'm using the instant dried yeast, which is you can use it directly onto the flour. So now I have my instant dry yeast in the flour, and we are going to coat it. We are going to coat the yeast with the flour. Why do we do this? It's because if we add the salt to the flour mixture now, the instant yeast will get retarded. So we don't want a retarded yeast. We want it to be active. So keep in mind not to add the salt directly with the yeast to the flour. So make sure you coat the yeast granules with the flour very well. And now you add the sugar. Milk powder. Salt. And give it a good mix. Now you add the water. Okay, so we stop the machine and we will check if the gluten has formed. So let's take a piece of the dough, we make it a ball, and then we will spread it with our fingers. And if there's no tearing happening, then your gluten has formed. But here it is tearing into pieces. So I will have to knead it more. So now I knead it for 5 more minutes. So I'm going to check if the gluten has formed. So let's hope that it has formed now. Let me spread further and see, but I don't think so because I can see it's dripping from the sides. So here we go. Let's knead it for 5 more minutes. Okie dokie, my 5 minutes kneading is done. So in total I have kneaded this dough for 20 minutes. So let's hope it is really done. Okay, I have a feeling it is done because it's really soft and nice. So let's hope it will pass the test. So let's make a nice ball. And now let's start spreading it with our fingers. I can feel it on my fingers that it's easily spreading and it's very stretchy. So this is what you call the gluten. So when it's stretching, then the gluten has formed. Can you see it's very transparent like the skin of a balloon? So that's the stage that you're looking for. So keep in mind it took me 20 minutes to get to this stage in a stand mixer. You try to do it by hand, I would say nearly 1 hour you will have to knead it. So you tuck it in. Oh God, look at this. It's such a beautiful dough. So now we have to cling wrap the bowl and leave it to cool for about 30 to 40 minutes. I chose my window side because you get a good direct sunlight and it's a bit warm over there, so it will take very less time to prove. And here's my dough after 30 minutes. So look at it, it's so soft and it has got doubled in size. Look at this, it's so pretty. So let's take all the dough. So now let's make a nice smooth top for the dough. I'm just tucking in the sides. Can you see at the bottom it's like that, but don't worry about it. Just keep tucking it in and make a nice smooth dough on the top, and then you press and pull it forward towards you. So this way you're making a firm ball. Just look at how soft this dough is, amazing. So now again we are going to leave it to prove for 15 minutes. So you cling wrap, use the same cling wrap and just cover it over it and leave it over the countertop for 15 minutes. So this is how my dough looks after 15 minutes. Now we are going to degas the dough. We don't want to have those big holes in our bread, so we have to remove the gas by rolling the dough into a long sheet. So before you start rolling out your dough, make sure you get your pan ready by greasing it with some butter. So the size of the sheet depends on the size of the pan that you're going to use. So I am using a very long dough pan, a loaf pan. So if you see, this is the size of my pan. So I keep it in front of my dough and I stretch the dough up to the size of the pan. So now if you see, I have rolled out my dough to the same size of my pan, maybe a little bit less than what it is, which is okay. And now first I tuck the two sides in, and then I keep rolling the dough into a firm Swiss roll. So make sure that your dough is, the Swiss roll is firm. Keep rolling it, and then you turn upside down and then you pinch the edges to bind the dough. You can now drop this dough into the loaf pan directly, but I like to give it a different shape. So let me show you what I do. I'm using a sharp scraper and I'm going to cut this dough into 3 parts, 2 equal size and 1 bigger size. So I'm going to drop this vertically inside my pan, leaving a gap in between each dough. And now you have to leave it to cool for 40 minutes. So what I did here, I'm going to do is I'm going to heat some water in the microwave oven, and I'm going to leave that glass of water along with my bread inside the microwave oven for 40 minutes to prove. So basically my microwave is going to act like a prover. So this is how it looks after 40 minutes. It's doubled in size and it has filled the whole pan, and it looks very soft and nice. So I like this caterpillar shape on my breads. So now here I have my spray bottle filled with water, just normal water, and you're going to spray the top of the bread loaf with water. Preheat your oven to 230 and bake your bread for 30 to 40 minutes until you get a nice brown crust on the top. So I had got some buns going in as well, and look at this, my beautiful bread. So once the bread is done, you take it out of the loaf pan and then you place it in a wire rack and put it back in the oven to get the crunch of the bread. It will become crispy and nice when you bake it for another 5 to 10 minutes, so the outer layer of the bread becomes crunchy. Wow, just look at this bread. It's so soft and it's really nice. The outer layer is nice and crisp, and inside it's very soft and nice. So look at the shape of the bread. I'm really happy with the shape of the bread. It looks something different, and my kids really loved it. You all enjoyed my video tutorial, and see you next time. Bye bye.